Hi, my name is Jake. I make Pathfinder 2 videos, or PF2 videos, on all sorts of topics. Right now we're doing a series for the archetypes, first covering all of the 40 plus archetypes in the Advanced Player's Guide. And then after the Advanced Player's Guide, we're going to be moving on to all of the other archetypes. Today, we will begin with the Assassin and end with the Beastmaster, and Bastion is in between them. So Assassin, Bastion, and Beastmaster. And now the Assassin. It's a level 2 dedication, although the prerequisites are kind of heavy compared to the previous archetypes. Alchemical crafting, trained in crafting, deception, and stealth. Which I guess if you want to assassinate somebody, you're already doing because you want access to poisons and you're probably rogue and you want to sneak attack. So okay, it works. They also get additional feats here. Access to additional feats: poison resistance, poison weapon, sneak attacker, and improved poison weapon. So the dedication, it gives you the Mark for Death activity. It takes 3 actions. You have to be able to see and hear the creature that you designate. You give them a mark. You give them the Mark for Death. Mark. You mark them. That means that it's really easy for you to use feint against them and to seek them. So this sounds a lot like somebody who is trying to assassinate somebody and just sneaking after them, just following them. Okay. You also gain additional damage with your weapon. Your agile and finesse weapons and unarmed attacks gain the backstabber and deadly d6 weapon traits when you're attacking your mark. If it already has those traits, then you increase the size of the deadly damage die by 1 step instead of giving it deadly d6. So, okay, it lets you do a little bit more damage and trick someone a little bit more. One person. Sorry, obviously I'm not a big fan of this archetype, but I'll get to my final thoughts in a moment, at the end. Expert Backstabber, level 4. When you strike a flat-footed foe with a weapon that has the Backstabber trait, you deal 2 extra precision damage instead of 1. If the weapon is a +3 weapon, you deal 4 extra precision damage instead of 2. Ooh. Another option at level 4, Surprise Attack. You act before foes can react. Essentially, if you have been sneaking around, so you get to roll deception or stealth for initiative, then anybody who hasn't acted yet is flat-footed to you. But you're sneaking around and stealthing. They're already flat-footed to you. Am I missing something? Okay. So, level 10 feat, Angel of Death. All of your strikes against a creature you have marked for death have the death trait, causing the mark to be instantly killed when reduced to 0 hit points. The only reason I find this funny is because that person then can never come back or be communicated with. They are just dead forever, except for the intervention of a deity or an artifact level magical item. There is a limit on it. If the effect to communicate with them or bring them back is higher than half your level when you killed the creature, rounded up, then it succeeds, but otherwise they're just gone. I don't know, it's funny. I think that this would be more effective with your big bad hitting one of the players, because then it creates this like quest for somebody who's really great at resurrecting people, or they have to go into the afterlife to find their friend that they can't communicate with because this Angel of Death thing was used. That'd be cool. Assassinate, level 12. It's a 2-action activity. It only works against your mark, whoever you've marked for death. You hit them, and if this succeeds, they take 6d6 extra precision damage. Cool. That's good. However, they get to make a fortitude save against your class DC or spell DC, whichever is higher. If they critically fail, they immediately die. That's awesome. But they have to critically fail against your class DC. It's also an incapacitation effect, which means it doesn't work on anybody whose level is higher than yours, so it doesn't work on bosses. You can get paid to assassinate people. The problem I have with all of this is that you have to be completely unnoticed by your mark. Not invisible, not hidden, not undetected, unnoticed. they can have no idea that there's anyone in the area at all. Okay, they have to have no idea that you're in the area at all. This sucks. I'm sorry, but in previous editions and in D&D and other, this is not an assassin. They just kind of suck at their job. The assassin needs work. Bastion. The Bastion archetype is all about a shield. I got me a shield, that's it. So, we'll start off with the additional feats that you can have access to. Shielded Stride, Reflexive Shield, Shield Warden, Quick Shield, Block, Mirror Shield. Mirror Shield is really fun. I love the idea of reflecting a spell back at a spellcaster. Bastion Dedication. At level 2, you can start the archetype. This gives you the Reactive Shield Fighter feat. I understand that this doesn't show a reaction action, but the feat does, so it's just pointing you to the feat. So, if you didn't raise your shield during that turn already, then when you are attacked by an enemy, you can raise your shield reactively, and you get that armor class, you get the 2 bonus to your armor class, or whatever the bonus of the shield is. It's nice. If you're a fighter, you don't care, because you already had access to it. Disarming Block at level 4 is a free action on your turn that you can use against an enemy who has attacked you and you used your shield block to block their melee strike. You can try to disarm them. Cool. It's free action. You can potentially get their weapon out of their hand, but disarm doesn't work very well in Pathfinder 2. It would be a lot better if disarm were better, or if you could like get plus 10 to disarm or something. Okay, moving on. At level 6, the Bastion has access to Nimble Shield Hand. What this does is if you are holding a shield, then the hand that's holding the shield also counts as a free hand for any interact actions. So you can like push enemies or open a door or pull out a potion. You still can't attack with any item held in that hand. It's a little bit more useful. You don't have to drop your shield, so that's cool. Destructive Block at level 10 is very interesting. So essentially what it does is, when you use Shield Block, you can reduce the damage that you take by an amount equal to double the shield's hardness. So let's say that, but then the shield takes double that normal amount of damage. So let's say that you have a shield that has a hardness of 5. So you are attacked for 20 points of damage. So you can reduce the damage that you take by 10, because that's double the shield's hardness. So you take 10. And then the shield takes double the normal amount of damage it would have taken. So it takes 20. This destroys your shield really quickly. And you can't use this ability if you have an indestructible shield. It's meant to just chew through your shields. Which is cool because it reduces the damage you take, and in a pinch, yes, you'll protect yourself a lot. Otherwise, you might want to have a bunch of extra shields around. Still, it's cool. It's protective. Shield Salvation at level 12, it sort of modifies or works well with Destructive Block. You can save your shield from total destruction even after a devastating attack. If it would be destroyed due to damage taken during your shield block, it remains intact at 1 hit point instead. All that really means is that it's not completely annihilated. You can still drop it and repair it later, which is great if it's like a magical shield that you absolutely loved. It still exists, and you can use it again later. You just can't use it anymore that fight, because it's no longer useful as a shield, because it has 1 hit point. And then you pull out another shield. You really do need to have, like, an endless bag of shields with this archetype. It's fun, though. It is quite protective. Again, though, I don't think you would take it as a fighter, so using the interact action, I could see taking this as an alchemist, a mutagenist, really just anybody but a fighter. The Beastmaster archetype. If any of you have played World of Warcraft and had pets as a hunter, that's pretty much how this works. It's cool. Let's get into it. The additional feats that you have access to when you take this archetype are Magic Hide, Wild Empathy, Companion's Cry, Enlarged Companion, and Side by Side. The Beastmaster dedication. You get an animal companion, even if you already had one. It breaks the rules of companions, animal companions. So you can't have them both at the same time, though. You have to trade them out. And you do so with the ability called Call Companion that you also get. You spend 1 minute calling for a different animal companion, switching your active companion for another of your animal companions. So You switch from your raptor to your bobcat. And your raptor just runs off into the wilderness, just following you. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I would probably say that it's like magically contained in something, or it magically returns home and you summon it later, because Call Companion could be like, you can call it a summoning spell, flavor it that way, so that you're actually calling it from the void or from time, like maybe it's from a different era. At level 4, additional companion. You get an animal companion, even if you already had 2. You can take this multiple times up to a total of 4 animal companions, and the Beastmaster advances faster than the Ranger for the animal companion. They advance at the same rate as a druid. So they're just better at having animal companions, and they can have multiple animal companions, and they do a lot more with animal companions. And look at how long this archetype is. That's a class. That's not just a little thing you add on to a class. Okay. Heal Animal, level 4. It gives you the Heal Animal spell as a focus spell. It's like the heal spell, but it's better. And it only works on animals. Only works on your animal companions. Cool. Moving on. Oh, you also get a focus point, because you always do when you get a new focus spell. At level 4, Mature Beastmaster Companion. All of your animal companions grow up, becoming mature animal companions. All of them. And they also gain additional capabilities because they matured. And if you don't use the command in an animal action, your animal companion can still use one action on your turn to either stride or strike. So already at level 4, you are great with your beasts. This is a cool class. Yeah, it's a class. Why not? Beastmaster's Trance is interesting, but mostly for flavor. So level 6 feet, you can enter a trance that allows you to briefly inhabit the body of one of your animal companions and share its senses. This doesn't do anything to what actions the animal takes. You're just along for the ride. You get another focus point in your focus pool, so that's cool. And remember, you can use focus points for any focus point use. So you could be a wizard Beastmaster, and you could use these focus points for your arcane spells. Sure. At level 8, you get Incredible Beastmaster Companion, which upgrades your animal companions to become either nimble or savage, which basically just increases their stats, AC, skills, and damage they do in different ways. So you can look those up. Archives of Nethys is your friend. If you later get another animal companion, they automatically get all these benefits as well. So that's cool. You just like befriend a bunny and it gets much bigger and vicious. Beastmaster Bond, level 10. You can communicate telepathically with your animal companions within 100 feet. If you're legendary in nature, so later in levels, it can be from anywhere on the planet. That's cool. That's really useful for scouting and spying. And I frankly wish it did a little bit more, like you can talk through their mouths. I don't know, that'd be fun. Or you can like directly control their actions. Anyway, being able to communicate telepathically with your companion of any kind is always useful for when you're sneaking through a dungeon. Level 12, Beastmaster's Call. You can do this once per turn. It only takes one action. Wow. Okay, so any of your non-active pets, you summon a spiritual duplicate of them. It's a primal projection. And it arrives at an unoccupied square of your choice within 30 feet of you, and it gives you its support benefit, whatever that is. Like a raptor would give you flanking, because it's a raptor. The projection has all the same AC saving throw modifiers as the regular companion. It disappears if it takes any damage. Specialized Beastmaster Companion at level 14. Your animal companions become specialized. Each companion you have gains a specialization of your choice. They're in the Core Rulebook, page 217, as you can see on the screen. And some of them are so much fun. I gotta admit, I love the Wrecker, because I just love like a bear breaking through a wall or a door. but look at them. They're a lot of fun. You can select this multiple times, and they can have up to 3 specializations each. This is awesome. I want to play one of these. And finally, at level 16, you get Lead the Pack. This allows you to have 2 animal companions active at once. yeah, it's not really as cool as that possibly could be, because it still has to maintain balance. So it maintains balance of the action economy by still allowing one of your pets to take an automatic action that you normally could with your companions. And you can give commands to one or both of them at the same time, and it has to be the same action. So one animal either gets 2 actions as normal, or both of them either stride or strike. It looks really impressive. You just walk through town with 2 big bears. I don't know why. Bears. I just love bears. I do like this. I think it's really cool, mostly for roleplay. But it is also useful in combat. Even if it's just having extra meat shields on the battlefield. And you don't have to be a ranger to take this. In fact, you probably don't want to be. You can be anything and just use your pets as literally walls to protect you. That's a great use for them too. Thank you for joining me. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike, so I know how to proceed from here. You are all helping me make this channel. And if you have any requests for archetypes for me to go over, please let me know in the comments. Hallowed Necromancer is on the list. I will get to that, I promise. Check out our website, the link is in the description, and same with Patreon. And if you like this video and you want to see the next one in the series, check back, it'll be out soon. Until then, if you are a beginner at PF2, then I suggest this video here. It was a lot of fun, but it goes over some details that other people might have left out about the beginner classes and how easy or difficult they might be. Or check out this video because it's a build of a creepy puppet witch. And I love the builds. More builds are coming.